Today's video is pros and cons of living in Corte Golf and Country Club in Sun City West, which is an active adult 55 plus retirement community in the Phoenix area. So stay tuned. I will be right back with the video. Hi, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady at EXP Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate. So if this is your first time to my channel, my name is Kelley Norton. I'm a Valley native and a real estate agent of over 23 years right here in the Phoenix area. I'm also an associate broker here at EXP Realty and the owner of the Arizona Living Group. And we are a team that help people relocate to or within the Phoenix and surrounding areas. So today's video, pros and cons of Corte. So I'm going to bring to you the good things and the bad things that most people have shared with me about living in the community or things that they've noticed about the community. And also things that I've noticed about the community being a real estate specialist here in the Valley and having been able to compare it to other communities. I've been selling in Corte for a really long time. I would say really close to when the community began back in early 2000s. So I got my license in 2001. This community started 2003, 2004 timeframe and built out right around that 2007, 2008 mark. So the homes here really do have a Tuscan Santa Barbara feel, which is going to be the first pro. The nice thing about this community is you really do have a completely different feel, and it really allows you to feel like you're not in Arizona when you're inside the communities. So that's definitely one thing a lot of people love about Corte. It's the ability to really have different floor plans and different elevations, and their little communities that they have within the community have a different vibe. So some of them are more petite, some of them are larger lots, some of them are going to provide for more of a longer lot build, like a deeper floor plan. So you see just garage front. Others you're gonna have more of a side-by-side build. So you'll see the garage and the courtyard and the house. So it really does give a different vibe depending on what little community enclave you head into. So definitely a pro there. Now let's dive right into the number 2 pro, which is going to be that Corte and the floor plans provide for a lot of courtyard opportunities. There's a lot of floor plans in here where you do have courtyards. So as we show you some of the houses in here, you'll notice that some of them have full gates going into courtyard, some have smaller gates, but that really is that Tuscan Santa Barbara feel where you get that outdoor living in your front courtyard. Very popular. A lot of clients really do like that. So sometimes, you know, you want a different direction of the sun, and that's great. Let's talk about the first con, and this might not be a con for some, but for others it might be. So we'll just call it a marginal con. So this is going to be that in Corte, it's much like a lot of the other 55 plus communities in Sun City and Sun City West, where you don't have a guarantee block wall. So a lot of our 55 plus communities don't have any type of fencing at all. If you do have a body of water like a pool, you are required to have a fence. So typically that ends up being an iron fence. But unless you're on an exterior wall, you're not going to have a block fence. Now, I know a lot of my clients who have little dogs really like to have the block fence, but you could also get that iron fence, and a lot of the HOAs don't have a problem with you putting up a little mesh along there for your small dogs. So definitely some ways to work around it. A lot of them will also let you do little pony walls, kind of like almost like a little bench type wall. But if the dog is big enough, they could probably jump right over that. So just something to think about. You're not going to be guaranteed to have a fully enclosed yard. This is going to be a pro and a con. So a pro is that Corte is located closer into the freeway systems and a little bit more in town versus other communities like, say, Sun City Festival or Cantamia that are further out and about 15 minutes away from shopping or dining. This, you're going to be within 5 minutes to shopping and dining. However, the con to that is you're going to have more traffic. So you're going to have Sun City traffic and Sun City West traffic. If you're a full-time resident, that traffic does die down quite a bit once a lot of the seasonal visitors have left. So that's April, May timeframe. It starts to really calm down and then it picks back up in October. So something to keep in mind is that you do have conveniences of a lot more nearby, but you do have a little bit more traffic. So if you are looking for a community where you are more off the beaten path, this might not be the community for you. However, inside your community, you do have restaurant options, you do have your pickleball, your tennis court, and your amenities. So all of that is right there inside your community. So this is one of Pulte Del Webb's first golf and country club active adult communities out here in the valley. So this community is guard gated. So of course that is a huge pro for a lot of folks, especially if it's a part-time resident for you. That lock and leave really makes you feel so much better being behind that guard gate. Now let's talk about another con here with Corte. So Corte is about 20 years old. There's some positives with that, which we'll talk about in a moment, but one of the cons would be that some of the homes, and I would say most of the homes, are a bit outdated if you're wanting something with today's color scheme. So if you want something with more of that white and gray palette in your kitchen and you want more of the modern flooring, we just don't have that many of those homes. There's not a lot of folks that have done the full remodels. There's some, few and far between, but for the most part, you're gonna have more of that darker cabinet option, a little bit more of that brown color scheme. So something to certainly keep in mind. Now, another con is going to be because of the age of the community, some of the community of facilities are starting to kind of age out and they do have a little bit of an older feel. Now, the restaurant is having a huge undertaking. That should be opening up May 1st. So by the time you watch this video, it's probably open again. So they did an overhaul on their restaurant. They do have another one over at the golf club. But their big main restaurant, their steak and seafood restaurant, is definitely going to be completely redone, which is great, but the amenities are certainly needing a little bit of love. So as you walk through the locker rooms and you walk into the fitness area, you can feel the age of the community right away. So that, I would say, is probably one of my biggest cons, is that compared to some of these other new communities where you really feel like you are in a state-of-the-art gym and you are in state-of-the-art pool amenities and you feel like you're in a resort, you do get a bit of the resort feel here, but it's certainly outdated. So I have asked, and I know that they're redoing some of the pools right now, but as far as the fitness center, the locker rooms, nobody seemed to have, the folks working there did not seem to have any information about that being redone. So if that's important to you, it's something to really keep in mind. If you want to find something that is newer and more state-of-the-art, then I would definitely recommend one of the newer communities. So if we're sticking out in the West Valley still, then I would say certainly keep in mind the Sun City Festival, your Victory at Verado, Trilogy at Vistancia, that's gorgeous. And on a smaller scale, you know, Cantamia, you have that as well. So definitely other options if you want something that's a bit newer. This, in my opinion, does have kind of one of the older feels. Now, this is not really a pro or a con. Maybe that's a decision for you to make, but the HOAs here are about $650 a quarter. So that's kind of on point with a lot of the others. So $650 a quarter is your HOA. And do know that you have what we would consider like a capital improvement fee, something that gets put into reserve funds. It's $3,900 at closing. So you have to make sure that you do remember that. So $3,900 at closing is what you would have to pay. Another pro is, of course, it is a golf and country club community. So you have a golf course right in your backyard as a semi-private course. So you do have that right in your backyard. A lot of amazing practice facilities there, and the golf course is absolutely beautiful and visible through most of the community. Another pro with the location would be that because you're a little closer in, you are closer to hospitals. So 2.5 miles to Bannerdell Webb, and you do have a fire station right outside the community within, I'd say, 1/4 to 1/2 mile. So another con could be con. I don't see it as a con necessarily, but if you're noise sensitive, you do have Luke Air Force Base that is nearby, so you can get jet flyover noise. So just be prepared for that. Depending where in the community you are, you can also have a little bit of traffic noise if you're on the outer edges, because you do have El Mirage, you do have Deer Valley, and you do have the Loop 303 on the backside. So definitely something to keep in mind, that you are closer in, so you do have more traffic around. Now, something that might be a con for you is there's no new construction in the community. Because it was finished out in 2007, there is no new construction. Your closest new construction to here is probably going to be one of the communities in the Surprise area, like Heritage at Asante, Sun City Festival, or maybe even Pebble Creek. But Pebble Creek is close to being finished, so that one, you're not going to have a whole lot of options there. They're really on their last few houses there. I think another pro that we can close it out with here today is going to be the fact that you have a variety of size, you have a variety of price range, and a variety of floor plan. So there's kind of something for everyone here at Corte Bella. So your square footage ranges are going to be in that 1,200 all the way over 3,000 square feet. Your price ranges are going to be in that mid to high 300s, ranging all the way up just around that $1 million mark. And you can get a pretty good size home on the golf course and be under $1 million. In some of the newer communities, you're going to be well over $1 million if you want to have even 2,200 or 2,500 square feet. So it definitely gives you the opportunity to have a good size house, a great size lot, and have a beautiful view. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today of some pros and cons of living in Corte Bella. And if there's anything else that I can help you with this community, feel free to reach out. You can go and hit contact us on my website, or you can call or text. Either way is absolutely acceptable. And I really appreciate you watching the video. And if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and subscribe and click that little bell. That way you are notified when we put up new videos. Thank you so much. And please feel free to reach out if we can help you with any of your relocation needs. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye-bye.